So there's a new film called Inside. It's about a high-end art thief who is trapped in a New York penthouse after his heist doesn't go as planned, and he's locked in there with all of these priceless works of art. Basically, he just has to survive for the duration of the film, which is about 2 hours, an hour 45. It was directed by Vasalis Katsoupas. It's like one of their first big things. Now, I'll be honest with you. I was bound to like this no matter what because it's Willem Dafoe. I'm a huge Willem Dafoe guy, but it's just Willem Dafoe for 2 hours. Willem Dafoe has a really big background in like experimental theater and art and things like that, so he's very evocative of everything he does. He's so much bigger than many actors, and you can tell it's in his face. Most people know him as Green Goblin. Also a huge Green Goblin guy. I'm literally staring at the bust of Willem's Green Goblin from the Spider-Man 1 starring Willem Dafoe. But it's so interesting to see him trapped. It's him coming to terms with being trapped here. He can't get out no matter what. The door is solid. He's up in a penthouse, so he can't just break a window and jump. But it's him struggling with all of that after he came here to steal art. I don't think, for me personally, I didn't read the film as like a COVID movie that's like, oh, we're all isolated and things like that. It could be, but for me it wasn't. I read this. So the big thing is that he's here to steal this art, and a lot of the movie revolves around art. There's these beautiful pieces all over this penthouse that he was there to steal. But the thing is, the person who owned them is an art dealer who doesn't live in this apartment. There's months that pass that he does not show up, and Willem is stuck in this apartment. And you're thinking to yourself, like, you hold these pieces of art on this wall for what? You're not there. No one's looking at them. They're just sitting there. There is a video installation in this film in the apartment that no one sees. That it's just there. It's in an apartment. Like, for me, I can't stop thinking about the price of art and like why this stuff is so expensive. You're just going to hang it on a wall. Like, it's trapped. Why art isn't a form of expression? Someone made that to show. Like, they wanted it to be seen more than likely. Like, you're putting so much of yourself into that, and to trap it away, like, what is the purpose of it? You're trapped. You're trapped. There's these oranges in the movie that are covered in mold, but they're art. Like, it is an expression of like, why? It's just, I don't know. It's an isolated thing. Like, no one's gonna get to see these things and talk about it and experience that art because they're trapped. They're trapped there. Willem's trapped there, and he's trying to figure out how he's going to leave. And slowly he starts to kind of degrade and things like that. But the whole time it's just like, there's these shots of just him staring at the art and just like back and forth. And like, you get to really look at it. And there's some really cool dream sequences where you see the art kind of brought to life. But I think it's a really interesting film about art. It's an art house movie. It's 2 hours of just one guy. Excessive use of the Macarena, which is so funny to see Willem Dafoe dance the Macarena. I think it just puts on display how good of an actor Willem Dafoe is. He doesn't need anyone else because everything he does is so expressive and larger than life, and you want to watch him and you want him to get out, but like, you're just watching him for 2 hours, like in this place, learning about himself, learning about I'm not going to ruin it because there are some other things in there I don't want to spoil, but I really liked it. Even if it wasn't Willem Dafoe, I probably would still like the premise. I don't think many actors could hold my attention for 2 hours by themselves. I think the only one that comes close is probably Castaway with Tom Hanks, which I haven't seen, but I know a lot of people love it. But this was, I really enjoyed it. I'm really lucky I got to go see it early because, again, I'm a huge Willem fan, but it's just this one old man by himself this whole movie, and if you're into that type of thing, it is really interesting. If you ever like looked at art and you always wonder like why these pieces are so expensive if they're just going to hang in a penthouse that no one is going to go to, I think that is something that is really evocative in this movie, and I'm really glad I saw it. If you're into art or experimental films, this is probably going to be for you, and you're going to want to check it out. I honestly really suggest it.